creating good chances throughout the game, especially in the first half. Why do you think Newcastle was able to keep more control of the game and in the end win?
Because we needed to generate a moment. We clearly had a moment in the first half, and on that one we didn't capitalize. The next action is the long ball when we concede they go immediately, and obviously in that moment momentum shifts, and you need a goal as early as possible or very early in the second half, and we have managed to do that, and the game slowly started to get away from us.
Yeah, that moment, the Odegaard hitting the post, is it one of those things in football where you just get severely punished a minute later with Jacob Murphy's goal?
Yeah, but these are the margins. We got very punished as well in the first leg, and they've been very more efficient than us in the boxes. That's clear, and that's been the difference in the tie.
Do you feel you could have dealt with your emotions better throughout this match, especially in those first 20 to 25 minutes?
I think later in the game that obviously you start to get more tired, and you know that you have a big mountain to climb, and to play in these conditions is harder. But yeah, I suffer for the boys.
And do you feel like this was key to not be able to change this tie in the second half? Frustration just piling up?
Well, you have to score 3 or 4 goals, you know, and to do that in that period of time, especially when in that moment we weren't generating enough situations with enough clarity. It was difficult, and as I said, the game started to get away from us.
The second goal, Newcastle's second goal, do you feel like it's an example of the way you guys were defending? You were a bit unsettled compared to other matches.
Yeah, we were very in 50-50 balls, when clearances, when we have to take touches, we give them another chance as well from one regain in our last line as well. So yeah, that's things to improve, and today in that aspect as well, we're in our best.
How frustrating is it not to reach a final, considering all you've been doing in the past few years? And a lot of people would argue that you could have more, you deserve more silverware, that you need more silverware. How frustrating is it?
The margins are so small, and you need to be on the day very efficient. That's the margins that takes you very close to winning trophies, and today we weren't as well.
And now you have a training camp in Dubai. It worked well last season. So looking to the Champions League title race and Premier League title race, what do you expect to take from these days?
And now, obviously, you have to digest this one that is painful, and tomorrow will be a different day.
Thank you.
On what Mikel had to say there?
Yes, Grella, what's your thoughts?
Well, you had a good point what you just said to me, but efficiency, he says many times. To me, if he looks at that game and says that the reason why they lost the tie over 2 legs and lost the earlier Premier League game is just simply efficiency in the box, I think that might be a small element to it. But I think that he got outmanaged, and I think that he doesn't have a response if he has to play Newcastle again. He doesn't have a response for teams that will play with the 3 center-back system with 2 wing-backs and hit on the counter. They found success against the Man City side that plays with a high line, that want to do what they want to do. They want to get into your face. They want to press you. But I think you'll always struggle against teams, and Arsenal will always struggle against teams that are organized like that and will defend. And that, Gordon says that they can't physically bully, they can't physically push around. I think he'll always struggle with teams like that, and I don't think he knows what adjustment to make if they face a team like Newcastle again.
Here's some of the errors that they made throughout the day. When you think about them being one-dimensional, like Grella's saying, Nigel, can they go on and win top competitions playing the one way that they know how to play?
I don't think, like I said, Arsenal are that far away. I think it's a few pieces, but I think when you look at a game like this, people still probably wouldn't say they're evenly matched. You put both squads in front of you, most people take Arsenal's, and this for me is just crazy. You're chasing a game 1-0. I understand your footballing philosophy, but this is pure stupidity. Away from home, St James's Park, trying to play that ball in there. Declan Rice has nowhere else to go. You find yourself 2-0 down. Game's done. Game's done. You've already struggled to break them down from open play. I think there's the efficiency for me, the amount of times he says that word, is the manager saying, we need a striker. Like, that's just the reality.
How frustrating is that to watch those mistakes and think, OK, well, tactically, everybody's going to come at Arteta and say, you don't play this way, you don't play that way. But he's stood on the sideline thinking they're just giving the ball away. Riot's making mistakes out of the back.
That's his job. For me, again, we talk about them getting a striker, they didn't get it, no problem. But there's also an element of over-coaching. And when you look at Arsenal, they're so one-dimensional, they're so predictable. And what this has also showed me today is the fact of how much they miss Saka. Saka is now a massive miss for Arsenal in what they do in talking about creativity and making something happen in the final third. I thought Ranieri was a breath of fresh air coming on, the young lad. He looked like he was ready to take people on. He looked like he's still rough, like a diamond in the rough where he hasn't been overcoached to play this specific way only. Like he just looked like something different from the mould of Arsenal's style that maybe...
It all was our friends Jeff Shreves and Troy Deeney who are stood by for us. Boys, it's so good to see you. Troy, we know Arsenal, they had a bit of a frosty reception tonight, didn't they? How was your reception, though, by the way, after the comments you made about Newcastle? Did you bring anyone with you just for a bit of backup tonight?
I did, and I got here, and apparently I need security, so we got Jeff.
He hid behind me.
I got a Secret Service agent just stood to the left of me over there. I'm more worried that he's going to do me instead of anybody else. So, yeah, it's been good fun, though.
Hey, what'd you boys think about the game? Did you pick up anything that we couldn't see, like body language-wise, from Arsenal, maybe from Arteta, or any of the players? You know, because to me it seemed like a performance that was just lacking so many things.
Grella, from the first minute where Troy and I were sat just over there at pitch level, Troy was waxing lyrical about Alexander Isak, which is understandable. But what was noticeable for us at this level was the amount of uncertainty he planted into the minds of Gabriel and William Saliba. He had them all ends up. They were panicking, weren't they, Troy?
Absolutely.
Every time the ball came near him.
Yeah, they didn't know if he was going to come short. He licked the play and then he'd run in behind. I think you see with the first shot that he scores, obviously that gets ruled offside, but he leaves them 5-6 yards behind him. And then the second one, that left-footed shot with the pace. But I don't know if you could see it on the screens, but the way that Newcastle set up, it's why I asked Anthony Gordon when he was here, it was like any training session that we've all done, guys, where the manager says, right, the under-18s are going to try and break us down. As soon as we do it, we all go and we score, which is like a pre-season drill. And Newcastle broke it down probably 15, 16 times in that first half. And if they would have got the final pass right, they would have been in every single time. So I think, Nigel, you said it as well, like the way that Mikel Arteta sets up is very systematic. But the way that Eddie set up today, Eddie Howe, was one that tweaked, made some small changes. And when they did that, they'd absolutely had Arsenal's number, not only tonight, but for the last two occasions.
Yeah, but do you guys think they've played now 280, 290 minutes of football against this Newcastle side, and they've played every single game? If you go back and look at the games and look at the statistic, they played all three games the same way, and all three games they got almost the same result. Do you think that's acceptable for we're talking about a top manager in Arteta to not change or not figure out ways over 290 minutes of football to find a way to get a goal and look a little bit more dangerous?
Well, I think the question there, Grella, is why didn't they do anything different? And again, when we were talking about it during the game, Arsenal look like a team that play to a system. They only play in a certain style and they keep doing the same thing. There's no variation. They didn't mix it up at all. And time again, they were frustrated. When they finally got the ball into the final third, Newcastle just blocked everything off. That gap between the fullback and the centre halves was gone. And at half-time, Troy, I said to you, what do they do to change the narrative? And nothing changed, did it?
No, and also I think it's too easy to say the system. I think sometimes players have got to do a little bit more. The framework is there for Arsenal. None of them really went off-piece. None of them tried something different. There was no shots from the edge of the box, 25 yards. Just try and give something for Newcastle to think about. Everyone did the same thing. The changes that they made as well were just like for like. Everyone did the same thing. The big key point that no one's really talking about as well, guys in the studio, is that the set pieces for Arsenal are null and void against this team because they're just as big, they're just as physical, and they absolutely want to head the ball as well.
Well, Troy, you might be mistaken because Grella and I mentioned that. But anyway, Newcastle were excellent today.
We didn't hear, mate. Sorry. Apologies.
Yeah. Anyway, Newcastle were excellent today. How much of a big loss is this for Arsenal with the season? Yes, they're still in the Champions League and in the Premier League title race. But do you see this as a big loss for Arsenal in trying to win something?
100%, because they were, 90 minutes away, albeit behind in the tie. They were 90 minutes away from reaching Wembley. Yeah, it is a huge loss. And I think also as well, Nigel, you've got to think about mentally what this does to Arsenal too, because it just plants that seed once again. They were on a great run. They had won the last 4 games. They hadn't won 5 in a row all season. That still isn't there. And also, they go to Dubai now. They've got to regroup while there. They've got the Premier League, albeit chasing Liverpool, and that is a tough task, and the Champions League as well. But when you have a bad result, and it sits with you for a long time, which this will do. That's what makes it tough.
It will, but there's better places to think about it than being in Dubai, right? Get a bit
It's warmer than here.
Yeah, get a bit of sun on your back. Life's all good. I just think, guys, I said it a few weeks back. I believe that Arsenal's best chance for a trophy is going to have to be in the Champions League. I don't think Liverpool are going to lose 3-4 games and allow for Arsenal to catch them. I really don't. They're just a machine that keeps on going. And I think the way that they're set up, the defensive-minded setup that Arteta has, plays a little bit more favourable to the Champions League. I don't think they can win it, but they have to put all their eggs in that basket.
Although we're talking about Arsenal now, we should take nothing away from Newcastle United.
Yeah.
They were absolutely fantastic. They did a real job from start to finish, and they were worthy winners tonight.
Hey, it's good to see you boys on the same page with the dress code tonight too. It looks incredible.
He rocks it slightly better than me, to be fair.
Hey, that's like in the studio. Grella's got his linen shirt on, and Nigel's got a brand new suit from London with a tie and a pocket square.
Wow.
I'm giving you
Nice.
some. I'm giving you some.
I'm liking the
credit,
fits,
Nigel.
guys. I'm liking the fits.
All right, you guys were over there. We thought Anthony Gordon was absolutely sensational today for Newcastle. Who would you say else stood out for Newcastle?
He's just gone past us there, Tonali.
Yeah, Tonali was excellent.
Yeah, I
Was
thought.
absolutely superb.
Who else we trying to fit? I think Bruno was excellent in there as well. A little bit at times, a bit too early with the showboating, but fundamentally when you win, who cares? And then, to be honest, mate, it was hard to pick anyone did anything wrong. I think you have to give Trippier a mention. Hasn't played a lot, getting older now. But he schooled the Arsenal left-hand side. Trossard never had a kick. Lewis Skelly had in his pocket. I thought he was excellent.
But Troy, isn't that a compliment to Newcastle United? It was such a complete team performance that it's not like there were 2 or 3 that stood out head and shoulders above everybody else, other than Isak and his obvious quality. It was a real team, a real unified, a cohesive performance.
Good word. I like that word. Good word.
Write it down, then you
That was
can
great.
use it next time. Troy, Poppy said to tell you that normally when you're not there, we get more interviews, and it must have been about the disrespect you showed to Newcastle fans that they didn't want to come and speak to you.
No, we got the interviews that we're allowed. Basically, if we'd have done some real research, we'd have been allowed inside. That's what happened last time. But we'll get more tomorrow for you guys. Don't worry. We'll go inside.
Troy,
Where
I
the
know
seats.
you don't believe that for a second.
I do.
Would
Well
I
done,
ever
Jason.
set you up for anything?
Well done.
No,
Congrats,
you're only in an
congrats,
interview
Jason,
right
well
now.
done.
Yeah, you just cut off. You're only in an interview right now. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
One job.
See, that's what happens here, guys. We've just got respect in the UK.
You've
We
just
don't have to
made
do what
Jen
you
in
do,
the
Nigel,
back
and jump ship. We stay
absolutely
here.
blush. By the way, you just made Jen blush.
hey, boys, also earlier in the show, Nigel said that, and so did Gordon, but Nigel also said doesn't matter who they play in the final. If you were Newcastle, who would you want to play in the final, Tottenham or Liverpool?
Oh, Tottenham all day long. Ridiculous question.
Do you want to think about it? Or not? No, do you know what? I think either way, right, for us guys, the storyline is going to be great, right? Liverpool are going to obviously try and win everything this season, but I just think Spurs versus Newcastle is a great game. They're going to have to go for it. There's a massive storyline behind it, and you know with any Spurs game, they're going to leave spaces at the back and they're going to get after it. So I think it's a great game.
Hang on. Before the first leg, Tottenham against Liverpool, you didn't give Tottenham a prayer.
I still don't.
I was the sole voice that said Tottenham have got a chance.
Even a broken clock is wrong. Is right twice a day. Remember. That don't happen often, guys. Remember that.
Are you saying Tottenham can turn it around tomorrow?
No, I am saying Tottenham will get spanked. The question was, who would you prefer to play? And I think Tottenham get spanked tomorrow.
You just said Tottenham are going to get spanked tomorrow.
Yes, I think Liverpool will put a big beating on them.
It's nice to hear somebody answer the question, Troy, because we've got Nigel in here that's been sitting on the fence all day. It doesn't matter. Liverpool, Tottenham, you got to beat who's in front of you. By the way, are you excited to go to Liverpool, though? Are you going to enjoy that more than Newcastle, do you think, Troy?
I got to stay here first. Got to get out of here. I'm staying here tonight, aren't I? So I'm going to hope that when I go back to my car, all the wheels are there, and then we'll figure it out from there. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh,
Yes,
helping
Dad.
Felicia.
Kieran,
Go on.
come on.
How you doing?
Oh, you guys just do what you want. We're
Well done,
only
Kieran.
on live TV in
Congrats.
America anyway.
Hey, Dan, well done. Well done.
Sorry. Well done, lads.
I like this behind the
See you
scenes
Hey,
look.
how them old legs?
Good stuff, boys. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sorry.
Great fun. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Get home safe.
Ta-da.
Get warm as well.
Joined by a jubilant Anthony Gunn. Back to Wembley. How's that feel?
Yeah, very good. We got off to a good start in the first leg, but it's still a massive thing to come. Because if you think about it, if they go 1-0 up in that game, it gets a bit tense in here. So I thought we handled the occasion really well.
Was tonight arguably an even better performance?
Than the first leg? I thought so, because I thought we had more on the ball. I thought we had more threat throughout the game. The away one was just a pure smash and grab. Yeah. They had all the ball. We were just banked in, took our chances really well.
You know what I felt? I feel like you've got their number a little bit. I feel like the way that they play suits your game really well.
Yeah.
Look like you went 5 and like a box 4,
Yeah.
trying to block the little intercepted passes that they do where they H run on.
Yeah.
And it just allowed for you, Isaac and Josh to just keep running.
Yeah.
Did it feel like that when you played? Did you feel like every time, they're doing exactly what we do on a match day?
Yeah, they're similar to us, like you said.
Yeah.
They don't really change, and we don't really change. They try to bully you. They're really strong. They're really physical. But like you said, we fancy that game as well. So it's about duels in them types of games. Who wins the duels comes out on top, and who can find a little bit of quality.
Yeah.
We knew they step up a lot, so I knew any chance I can get to spinning behind to Alex, I would do.
And then also, there's been a lot of talk beforehand about Havertz. I'm not going to ask you about him, but he missed a big chance against City.
Yeah.
And then the thing was he kind of went missing. You had a chance where you probably went with the wrong technique. You probably laced it this time round.
Yeah.
Next time, though, calm, confident. I know you do a lot of work with your mind. What was going through your mind when that second chance came in?
To be honest, I don't care. Every time I miss chances, honestly, I don't care, because I just tell myself throughout the game, when the chaos is going on, when it gets really hard, I just say to myself, just stay in the game.
Yeah.
Because all I need is one chance. I can miss 5 if I score 1.
That's the life of a football player, though, right?
Yeah,
We've got to miss more than we ever score, right?
You've got to stay in the game. I say it to Alex all the time. If he gets frustrated, I just say stay in the game. You only need one chance.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I miss 5 and score 1, no one
Job
cares.
done. Yeah, job done.
People clap me off, so you know you're a striker.
What was the mentality going into the game?
To win duels, like I've just said, we knew what they had to come out and play. They had to come and try and bully us and be physical, and it was important how we didn't let them. It was never going to happen, to be honest, at this place with the atmosphere, but it was important that we started well.
Was it equally important, though, although you had a 2-0 lead, you didn't sit back, you didn't invite them on to you and think, let's protect what we've got?
Yeah, because they got good players. They can pick passes. They can create chances from anywhere. So I think that's a recipe for disaster if you're just going to sit back and let them types of players have all the ball. But we're not that team anyway. We've got our front three is quick. We're all fast, so we naturally have a good counter-attack threat.
And then the final question for me, you know where the weekend the gaffer said he's that to pull you locks, it looked like you were thinking ahead to this game.
Yeah.
How do you now channel all of the games now going up to the final? Because you've been at the final before, but how do you keep on? Because losing to Fulham was probably a big kick in the teeth, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Football, you have to be humble, honestly, because one week you can be the best thing in the world and the next you can be the worst.
Yeah.
So we went on a run of like 9-10 games unbeaten, won every one, and then we come here and got slapped by Bournemouth 4-1. That's
that was
the life
my
of
Aki
footballer.
killer, that was, mate. Yeah. Early doors as well.
So it's important in football that you stay humble and you focus on what's in front of you, because, like the gaffer said, if we are focused too ahead, it will show and we'll get caught out.
What will you be like tomorrow night watching Liverpool against Tottenham?
It doesn't really matter. I think you're facing 2 top teams either way. Both really good going forward, creates a lot of chances. So it'll be more about us on the day, I think. It always is. That's how we look at it. But it's really exciting. I've never been in this position, so I'm excited to watch the game.
Fantastic. Enjoy the moment. Troy?
I was going to say one more. Kieran Trippier, obviously been around the block.
Yeah.
There was a little bit at the end with him and Miles. They was having a little bit of each other. But how nice it to see Kieran, who obviously hasn't played a lot this season, but still come in and put in a performance like that.
No, it's top. It speaks to his professionalism. Like you said, Tino's been playing a lot. Trips hasn't played really lately. So to come in that sort of game, be physical against direct wingers and put in that performance is top. But I think everyone expects it. Like you said, he's been around the block. He's old now, Trips. He knows his way around the pitch.
I
We'll let you tell
appreciate
him that. Hey, congratulations. Well done, Anthony.
I
Cheers.
appreciate you, mate. Look after yourself.
Cheers.
says he doesn't mind about tomorrow being Newcastle, being Liverpool or Tottenham. Do you think that's true, Nige?
Yeah, it's very true. If you're going to win it, you're going to have to face the best teams at the end of the day, wherever you're looking to. So you just got to worry about yourself. And I love it. You look at these numbers in both of them and how influential they were. And Anthony Gordon was sensational today, Poppy. Honestly was. And it's not just he took his goal well. And I love the mental side that he shows there. But he doesn't care if he missed. He doesn't dwell on it. He scored the opportunity that he took and all over the place. Look at a little Picasso of him there. He's everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. No, really, really well done to Anthony Gordon today. Thought he was sensational.
He cares. He wants to play against Tottenham, right? I mean, I think everyone in the world, everything in the world.
No, it's a cup final.
Everyone in the world will tell you, though, you'd much rather play against Tottenham than Liverpool at the moment, right now. Not to say that Tottenham is a weaker side. Obviously, they're going
well,
to the next leg.
You just said it. You just said he wants Tottenham.
Who would you rather play?
I don't care. I've had that mentality. I don't care. You get to the final, you get to the final.
Do you think it's an easier match against Tottenham?
It doesn't matter. Wherever you get to the final, you get to the final. When we played Liverpool in the FA Cup, it's Liverpool. Still Liverpool. Didn't care. Got to go out there and earn it.
We'll see, but I thought Gordon was excellent. That's why I don't want to say that Isak is the big difference maker. We know the qualities that he has. Troy went out and said he's one of the best strikers in the world at the moment. But even for Murphy and Gordon, I thought they were fantastic in this formation. The heat map shows you exactly how much he had to cover and all the spots he had to be in. Normally, when you see someone in that position, you say, okay, this is going to be your area. He was everywhere. He was doing everything. And the thing he mentions in the interview that I think is great is we won our duels. His football is about winning duels. You can go through the 11 at Newcastle. They won their duels on the day, period. Yeah. They won their duel. The centre backs won their duels with Havertz and with the front three of Arsenal. Tonali won the duel against Declan Rice. Gordon skipped by Declan Rice as well. He won his race. Murphy scores a goal because he gambles and wins his duel against the back line of Arsenal. So it was all over the place where they won their duels. Yeah. They were fantastic.
There were so many good players. I mean, Jacob Murphy in particular, who's been at Newcastle, 7 seasons. He's having the best season of his career. 5 goals, the most of any season he's had with the Magpies.
Yeah, he really has. He's put in an effort and a shift since he's come back in the team. Been plagued with a few injuries as well. This kind of stifled his Newcastle spell, but really has played a big part. And it's not just what he does on the ball. It's off the ball as well. We see this again. This is the finish from today. When you talk about adjusting, you think it's easy. Look how he's coming inside the ball, spinning away from him. That is not easy. Keeps it on target. Goals change games. Them getting that first goal changed the whole atmosphere at St James's Park. The belief from the fans and them pushing and trying to get the players to believe even more that they can get to a Wembley final. Yeah,
Newcastle took all of their chances and Arsenal failed to do so, didn't they? We're going to hear from the Gunners boss after the break.
To us at the moment, because you've just come out in sliders and shorts and no socks, haven't you? You have to take my word for that. Congratulations.
Thank you. My teeth are still chattering. So, apologies for that. Yeah.
That's right. We won't keep you very long. The goal, first of all, what a great finish, really, and actually the anticipation.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to watch that back because I've seen a highlight on my phone.
Right, is that better?
That screen's a bit bigger.
Yeah,
just about.
Yeah. It kissed the inside of the post as well. So
yeah.
No, it come really quick. No, it was just good that I was, following it in from Alex because anything could happen. And yeah, it come at such a horrible angle as well, and I was really on the stretch there. So yeah, just get any sort of connection.
Ooh. It's a great finish.
Yeah. It is a great finish because it must have come at you very quickly.
Yeah, it did, really quick, and then. Most of the time, I usually hit the post and it comes back out, but but yeah, it went in.
Is he claiming an assist for that one, Alexander? You've been setting him up a lot lately.
I think he can claim that one. So yeah, no, I love playing with him.
You've got a great understanding, haven't you? Is it just clicked?
It's just natural. He's obviously a top striker, very clever. Today, I didn't really have many opportunities to provide for him today. It was kind of. Gordy and Alex were kind of running the show for us today. They were both magnificent, but yeah, he's just super intelligent. He's always in the right place at the right time. As a wide man, you're just looking for someone to be in the box in the areas that you want to put it in, and Alex is always just lurking. So yeah.
I was going to ask you, Alex gets all the headlines, obviously, but I think you've really clicked as well this season. Like one of the first names on the sheet. I know you and Alex have got this partnership, but have you done anything different? Like, as I say, you've been in really top form, like really impressive.
I don't think I've done any different. I think if you look last season, from January to the end of the season, I was in good form then, and really I've just carried it on and been getting a lot more minutes now, and it's showing now in my goal contributions. I don't solely base my game on that, because I like to pride myself on a lot of out of possession work, all of the ugly work that wingers don't usually do. I quite enjoy doing so. The manager, he rates that in my game, and I'm happy to do it.
We see so many wingers now playing on the opposite side, so you're going to come inside, and maybe if you were playing on the left, you cross it with your right. You play on that right side, you're right-footed. Do you enjoy that? Because the way that ball falls to you, because you are right-footed, makes it probably a little bit easier for you to finish, and a lot of your crosses. Do you enjoy playing on that side?
Yeah, obviously it's very common in the game now. I identified a couple of years ago, right, I'm not left-footed, I'm not inverted, I can't come in and always finish off my left. So what do I need to do to make being a right-footed right winger work? And that's really honing in on my crossing, positioning to really provide. I can chip in with the goals, but if I'm providing for other people, then that's where the value comes.
And that's come specifically from you, or is that with Eddie and Jason Tyndall, or is that something you just thought, I need to do this?
We've always been quite a strong crossing team with our patterns and stuff like that. So I think it's just a combination of both. Combining that and just really honing in the skill. And if I can be the best at doing that, then I give myself every chance.
Do you feel you're the happiest you've been in your career and the most settled you've been in your career? Because that will play a part as well.
I'm always happy here. So there's never been a sad moment. Obviously, I've had a weird and wonderful journey here at Newcastle, and I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed it, even through the sticky times. But it's good to be playing so many minutes and be playing such an important role.
And what does a final mean to you?
We need to go one better. It's a great feeling to make a final again. But we owe it to ourselves to really bring it home for everybody. I think
we were just talking about that, actually, that this feels a bit different to a couple of years ago. Yeah, there's celebration, but it also feels a bit more business-like compared to a couple of years ago.
I think that run 2 years ago, that was all about experience, and I think today we showed that we have a lot more experience coming into games like this. We had a 2-goal lead. Yes, we were probably a bit more defensive, but we were still very aggressive, pressing high, man for man. It's taking that experience and then using it.
Right, go and get warm. Seriously, I can't have you shivering here next to us anymore. Congratulations, well played. Thank you very much. You could have given him your coat.
I've got 4 coats on here. It took me a while to unbutton them. I've even got leggings on. I felt really bad. Look at he's got his feet out. He's got his feet out and everything.
And trousers on, and he has come out like he's going to the beach.
But when you've got to a final, you're going to come out naked. You are that happy. You couldn't care less. Honestly, it is a great fit, and you can see. And Shay asked him a wonderful question there. What's changed? What's happened? And I think he just answered it really well. He's obviously self-aware. He knew what he had to do to make sure that he becomes a regular in his team. And it's a joy. And what a nice young man.
But also at that point, I identified what I needed to do as a right-footed winger on the right wing. Because I wasn't going to come inside. I wasn't going to be part of the sort of inverted
I think Eddie's got a team
fashion
as well behind him. Obviously really good staff behind him as well. Analysts and staff on the bench and what have you. And these people have, as he says, identified that he needs to work on his crosses or his final ball or his assists or his goals or all that combined. We've done the piece before the game, him and Isak have this special relationship, but I really think he goes under the radar at times and doesn't get maybe the credit he deserves.
Absolutely, Shay. And we will see. The game has gone so far the other way where coaches all copy coach. So Pep Guardiola was obviously the first one to do it when he had, Messi, MVP, Pedro, Messi and...
hang on. Pedro, Messi, Suarez.
Suarez, that's it. Yeah, MVP. I knew
MVP.
There was, and there's an S in there somewhere. I don't know where that come from, but it was in that final when they played.
How do you confuse an
2011.
Irishman?
Anyway, forget that bit. But what I was trying to say, they all used to come inside, cross the ball with their opposite foot, and it was great for a time. But now defenders have got so used. Stop it, you.
I'm not
Defenders have got
because it was MSN.
Villa.
No, it was MSN with Messi, Suarez, and Neymar.
Yeah, but then it went MVP, didn't it? Anyway, forget that. We're talking about. Trying, but then crossing the ball with and he goes down the line and crosses it with his right foot, and it makes such a difference, and you can see that. Eddie realises that. You ask any striker what they prefer, even goalkeepers, when that ball's coming away from you, it makes it harder as well.
And it's interesting he says as well, we've worked on crosses, so when they get in wide areas, they cross it. So Isak knows the ball's coming in. They clearly get the ball wide, get the ball in the box, because how many times you see strikers making a run and the winger chops back. If Murphy or Gordon gets in a good position, Eddie's saying, get the ball in the box.
Well, I mean...
Messi, Pedro, Villa. That was it.
We got right. Okay. Should we go back before Jacob Murphy's goal? Because it all changed in that 53 seconds, didn't
Yes, it did.
And we'll start with Ødegaard's miss.
This was a huge moment in the game because they were just starting to get a little bit of control. It was only a few moments, and they're obviously players that were just finding a little bit of space. Ødegaard, it falls to him, and it's obviously on his right foot, but that shouldn't really matter. You should still finish that one. The ball's spinning a little bit. He doesn't get quite the connection. He just slashes it a bit. But what I would say, if this goes in, it puts a totally different complexion on the game.
Yeah, even nervous watching it back. I know he still hits the post and goes wide, but Jamie's right. Mark, imagine the atmosphere in the stadium, even the players, the mindset, everything changes in a split second. As you say, 53 seconds later, we go up the other end and get that all-important goal to change the whole atmosphere. It's amazing. I think when you do win a cup, you do need a bit of luck. We talk about the previous final 2 years ago. Dan Burn had a header from 6 yards, missed it. St. Maxim had a 1v1 with De Gea. He made a save. But this is 53 seconds later. Brilliant strike from Isak. And, of course, Murphy was just there 2 seconds ago. What a brilliant finish. I think it's not an easy finish. I think he makes it look easy, but it comes at him quick. He's stretching for it. And it's a really tight angle by the time he connects to it. And as he said, it skims off the post, but I don't really care how, because it's a brilliant goal, and it's such an important goal as well.
And Saliba, he's obviously a fantastic defender. He just couldn't live with Isak today. I've never seen him so uncomfortable in a football match. And Gabriel was the same. And then this finish as he mentioned it, and he actually did himself a bit of a disservice. He's got to stretch. He's got to use every part of his body to get that. And you can see that jubilation. What a feeling for him.
But Isak sort of destabilised them and made them uncomfortable by being a bit of everything, didn't you? Whether it be movement or like the physicality there to win the first ball. Every aspect of his game unsettled them.
I think the same in the first leg of the semi-final down in London. He was all over. They didn't know to go tight. They didn't know to drop off him. He was putting it in pockets. He was coming wide. He was just. I mean, that's probably why he's so heavily linked, because these two centre halves are brilliant players, both of them in their own rights. Probably two of the best pairing in the whole Premier League. But when Isak's up against them, he just, as you say, they'll be having nightmares again tonight, because he's such a talent, and they don't really know how to deal with him.
Because he's so classy, and you don't come up. There's not many strikers that are as good as him. Guimaraes has obviously come over and chatted to us, and he said, "I wouldn't swap him for anyone." That's how good he is, because he's got that sort of confidence and flair, and he can do everything. You receive the ball, he gives you a focal point. He's got finesse where he can beat 2 or 3 players at a time. He can finish. I mean, Thierry was the best Premier League striker we've ever seen. But there is a lot of aspects in his game that I see that sort of emulate a little bit what Thierry did. He's a fantastic player, and you can see why so many clubs covet him.
Just take us through again then that tactic from tonight of Newcastle of using Fabian Schär to press Declan Rice.
Well, it's incredibly brave. But what they kept doing is because you can see he's then, to use his words, Bruno Guimaraes, he's going to jump and make sure that every time he gets that ball, he's going to go and press him. Then wins it, and then look at his reaction. He's engaging with the crowd. This one, he doesn't quite win the ball, but you're already, as a midfield player, if you're Declan Rice, you can feel him breathing down your neck. You do not like it. Declan Rice did it to Man City the weekend, and he won the ball exactly in this position for his team. And Declan didn't like it. No player enjoys playing under that kind of pressure. But what you have to do, you can see in this clip here, there's everybody from Newcastle is man for man. You can see Guimaraes is on Thomas Partey. Schär goes and engages on Declan Rice, and it's very hard to play when you're trying to play out from the back. But to do that, everyone has to buy into it. It's not easy to say to a player, you're going to go mark someone man for man and follow them around for 90 minutes. It's not really what everyone wants to do, but when you're getting the success, you don't mind.
But then the other part of that, and I because Jamie's the outfield player, I'll just ask you on this, because you're doing something that isn't normal to your day-to-day routine or job. So Eddie Howe said it was repeat, because there must have been occasions that you may have had it in your career where you find yourself in an area of the pitch and think, I shouldn't be here, but then actually I should be here because that's my instruction for this game. Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely. And Fabian Schär would never expect him to play when we've seen how Newcastle play with that back four. If he plays alongside Botman, normally he's up there and he's making sure that he's got protection around him. It's almost like foreign for him to go and engage and make sure that you're going to actually run. And if you're the two midfield players and you see your centre-back running past you, it's actually quite unfamiliar. But when you're getting success and when you're getting after Declan Rice and you're making him uncomfortable and you're breathing down his neck, nobody likes to play under that pressure. The flip side of it is, if all of a sudden if Arsenal do play out, they get it right and they can get in behind you, you can come unstuck. But they just got it perfect today.
I think what I would say, no, I've not got a clue about midfield, but what I would say is...
you understand the game.
Joking. Yeah. What I would say is they have to believe the message from the manager as well, because you're asking the two centre-halves to press on the other box. You're 2-0 up from the first leg. They must be looking around thinking, we've all played 11v11 in training and gone, you want me to go all the way in there to the edge of the box as a right side centre-half or a left side centre-half? They must be going. But Bruno said it here as he spoke to us as well. We trust the manager, we trust his messages and his ideas, and when it comes off like that to an absolute T, they'll trust him even more.
Kieran Trippier made only his 4th start today since October.
I was stretching him off at the end there.
You were helping with his cramp at 90 minutes. And he was in the thick of it. I mean, you said actually when we were watching the studio, he channeled a bit of his Atletico Madrid time.
We know obviously he worked with Simone over in Spain, and again I think it's another. Tino Livermento's a brilliant right back as well, and he's learning from this guy. A fantastic right back. But again, I don't know what the word, the nasty side of the game, leaving a bit on Trossard, and just that experience I think was so important tonight. And the last second he did get down with cramp, but again, see him talking, leading on the pitch. You need leaders out there, and he's a brilliant example, and I think it's a really good choice to start him tonight as well.
And when you think he's playing 3 at the back, that is a really hard role when you've got to do a wing-back role. And I'm sure he said, 4th game this season, he's probably thinking, how am I going to get through this one? But he absolutely did. Big man, come and say hello.
He's good. Well, in fact,
Kieran, we're talking about you as well. Come and talk to us. Come on, lads.
There you go.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Well done, big man.
Dan's, how are you doing, Dan? You all right? Yeah, come here.
Middle there, lad.
You just put your pizza down, have you, to come and talk to us?
Well done,
all right. What have you got on your pizza? Well done,
pepperoni.
All right.
I feel a bit sick, but I can't eat it.
Right. Okay. That was a battle, wasn't it?
Was. I couldn't feel my legs first 25 minutes. The adrenaline was getting to us, but no, it was good. I think it was a good reaction from the weekend, and just buzzing to be back at Wembley.
I was going to ask you when Eddie Howe done up the formation and the team shape, and he says, Dan, I want you to go all the way in and press.
Yeah.
What was the mind saying at that point?
I think you've just got to trust in what he asks you to do. To be fair, I think Fabi had a tough job going all the way on Declan Rice, and obviously we're getting a goal from it, so it worked. But just happy.
You needed Shay to help you with your cramp at the end of the game. Did you?
Sorry about that, mate.
No, it's obviously it's my first night in a long time. Do you know what I mean? So it's like as Dan said before, what the gaffer, the plan before the game, you have to put the shift in, and if you don't do it, you don't play.
You look like you relished the battle at times.
No, it is, and sometimes it's Arsenal do it a lot, game management, and we've got to do the same. And obviously, you need to get under the skin. We need to get the crowd behind us, and they certainly were tonight.
Well, 4 games, I think, this season, and you've got to then play as a wing-back, which is probably a bit more running even for you.
Nearly at 35, yeah.
But, mate, we'll be honest, you made it look easy tonight. It's obviously difficult because you had Trossard as well, and Miles Lewis-Skelly coming into your area, but you dealt with it so well.
No, but the most important thing is, as Bernard said again, the tactics before the game, you have to go man for man. And you've got to give Murphy a lot of credit because he was playing next to me at times, but if you stick to the game plan and we're all on the same page, we'll go far as a team.
When you are going man to man and maybe are dragged out of a position that you would normally, you sort of expect to be in certain areas, but you're dragged into a different area, how difficult is that?
I think you know that if you don't do it, they're going to be able to find that spare man. So I think when you've just got that focus that's your man and that's your job. I find it easier, to be honest, sometimes than when we're in a back 5 and we're in more of a block and
they're picking up balls in pockets. It's quite difficult. So I feel sometimes when we're going man for man, we ask a lot of each other individually, but I feel like everyone can play that role.
I'll talk about there was a massive 90 seconds in that match. Odegaard hits the post and you scored. That relief must have been.
I think Dan's facials, it was slow-mo when your facials, as Odegaard's about to hit it, you're like, ah, no.
Absolutely good. No, I think like obviously games change in moments like that. When they got a free kick after 10 seconds and then a corner straight away, I was fearing it a little bit.
Well, we talked about that before the game, didn't we?
Yeah. Like
don't give any silly free kicks away in the first 10 seconds. I'm thinking, please.
Anthony gives away a free kick. I know, yeah.
What's the final mean to you?
No, it means everything, and you know we've had the taste of it. Unfortunately, we got beat last time, but we've got that experience. You know, we've been in these moments before, and now it's focus on the game against Birmingham at the weekend. But I think the first time, I think there was a lot of emotion for the lads who have never been in a final, and now we know how to handle that. The little things, as you know, tickets and all that nightmare. It's carnage.
But all of that does make a difference, doesn't it? And so to be sort of to know what's coming for those lads that would.
It does take a lot. Because there's tickets, and then there's a lot of things that come into it. It takes a lot of energy out of you. And me and Bernie spoke about it loads of times where. Obviously, we couldn't plan it before this game because you need to win it, but now get everything boxed off now, and then we can just focus on the game.
Shay's
have a few tickets in. Have I gone too early?
I've got too many requests.
How are you feeling today ahead of this? Bruno said to us that he did feel a bit anxious today.
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously you try and just treat it as any other game, but we know how big it is. It's been such a long time since we've won anything here. So obviously it was an important game. I think you could feel the atmosphere was different before that. But I think just buzzing to get the final. Like, as Tripp says, I think we've gone there before. It was so emotional that first time, I think, just for everyone in there. But hopefully we can sort of do it better this time.
Okay, we'll let you go because we kind of jumped on you as you were trying to leave. Cheers, Dan. See you later.
All right, Chiefs at Eagles.
I would go Chiefs. Why? Who would you?
Why? No, that's going to be on.
Who would you go?
Well, I want the Eagles to win, but I think the Chiefs will.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Right,
Right.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks very much. We've still got more to come from here at St James's Park.